Welcome to London Tech Leaders HQ. You are a very lucky cohort as this is the first workshop we've ever done here. But thanks for coming out to support. Really appreciate it.
So the London Tech Leaders Thomson Reuters Foundation workshop event today has been a fantastic experience for us to actually then network with so many of the people and guests that actually arrive and to actually share with them actually the way that actually modern technologies now can allow organizations to then digitally transform, but actually have IT and the business work better together.
I suppose what excites me about this opportunity is the value that it brings back to the Thomson Reuters Foundation. This is part of our AI adoption journey. And at the end of the day, this is also about bringing value back to, my colleagues when it comes to productivity gains. Exploring low-code, no-code solutions with embedded AI like TAAP is part of our internal AI adoption journey for productivity gains and business intelligence transformation.
The reason I came to this event today, and I brought with me my colleague, the business administrator from the editorial team, is that we run our own newsroom. And as part of running that news website, context.news, we do a lot of original and investigative reporting. We quite regularly have to hire freelancers, stringers, local photographers. What that means, though, is that we have about 300 to 250 people a year on average that we work with that need to be onboarded through our accounts payable processes, our finance processes, that we need to make sure they're who they say they are. And all of that places a lot of load on Davina, who is our business administrator for the editorial team. She's previously, the process that she inherited, been handling all of this through emails. I think one of the key things about this whole process is it's not something that we could have done by ourselves. We don't have the budget or the time to spend a lot of money and a lot of time on something like this, a big Salesforce development to create a portal that people can log into and so on. So that's why we're here working with TAAP, specifically to put something together in a much faster time frame than we'd ever be able to do if we had to develop something by hand and code it from scratch. And we've been working with various people from the TAAP team. So working with external partners that we can trust is very important to us.
So one of the things that's really struck me is how fast you can get stuff done. So the sheer pace at which coding can be done, automatically without people being heavily involved is phenomenal. From that, I can actually see an app coming together in under a day, basically. What I love is the fact that it's really sort of making sure that the business requirements, the business need gets a much higher voice. That's where the investment is going, not in the coding part.
The interesting part of this for them was actually the speed at which we could actually then deliver this technology. Today we focus more on actually the building blocks to show people how it worked, whereas previously we've used our AI app builder to take a process, press the button, build the application, and everyone just wanted to understand what was under the covers. Today we showed them what was under the covers, and the feedback we've got has been fantastic.
I didn't believe you could build an app in a day, so I was very enticed to come down to the workshop and sort of prove that wrong as a former engineer who knows what's involved in building an app. But it turns out you can build an app in 13 seconds, which is absolutely incredible.
So what was good about today was actually having hands-on real-world experience of developing AI solutions or applications using AI. I understand firsthand the complexities and the difficulties and the risks associated with application development. So seeing how the guys have streamlined that process and brought everything together was incredibly effective.
For me, one of the reasons that I attended today was about data privacy and data control. The advantage of being able to have it in your own infrastructure with your own instance and deciding exactly how it's accessed and by whom is really important from a control point of view.
Yeah, in terms of hands-on experience, what was really useful is sitting down with non-technical users and design an application from the ground up. Technical, development users versus a business user. What TAAP enables is that interaction between business and IT folks. And that is very important in the early stage of application development. Something that would have taken weeks or months, that can be done in literally minutes.
Quite an existential moment trying to kind of understand how it worked. And then when it did, it was like, oh my God, that's so great. So it's been nice for me essentially just to bring all the work that I've done so far to today and to have it all digitized. One of my favorite parts of today was when we were building the dashboard and I could hear one of our colleagues saying what they would like to see on the supplier side of things. It's been a relief to see that other people understand the needs that we have.
If you're looking really for long-term return in investment, you've got to be looking at things that are automating the processes to which gives you the technical debt. And that's where application generation comes from. It's its ability to generate vast amounts of code and infrastructure without the huge investment in time and people. And that's about taking the architectural design, the business requirements, and translating them into code and infrastructure as quickly and with as little resources as possible. And that's what TAAP gives you. Having watched it today, it's impressive.